Supernatural's modeling is Indigenous owned and is the world's first and only all-Indigenous modeling agency. Joining us now to tell us more are the two founders, Patrick and Joleen. Good morning. Welcome to the morning show.
Morning.
Good morning. Joleen, tell us about Supernaturals and why you started this unique modeling agency.
It was honestly like a conversation Patrick and I had over lunch. I'm the founder of Vancouver Indigenous Fashion Week, and it was just a natural transition into making a modeling agency because during the time of Vancouver Indigenous Fashion Week, we just had a bunch of youth that were interested in walking the runway and just seeing the power and the beauty of our ancestors through these young people. It was just really beautiful to see. So that's a big reason why we started Supernaturals.
And Patrick, can you talk to us about why it's important to redefine how Indigenous people, how they're seen in the media?
Yeah, well, growing up, Indigenous people, we had a very narrow view of how we were represented in media. You know, it's amazing to see where we are now all these years later, because we're moving away from the era of stereotyping and tokenism and really trying to move into an era that we are able to define. Because for the longest time, Indigenous people, we haven't been in control of how we've been seen in this world. And so it's, a big part of what we're doing is trying to take our power back in that way.
Joleen, talk to us about some of the work and campaigns you've done so far, and maybe what are you most proud of to date?
Well, we've hit some really big brands. So like we've worked with Roots, Herschel, Barbie this past year. So I think that's huge for our people. And like I can't really think about that back 15, 20 years ago, right? So we're breaking new ground in the industry completely. So yeah, I'm most proud. I don't know. I'm so proud of all of them. I feel like it's a dream. It's like we are our ancestors' dreams. And I think we're kind of killing it, and we're killing it in a big way, especially on the runways on New York, Santa Fe, Vancouver, Toronto. I feel like we're just killing it.
That is tremendous, just tremendous. And Patrick, how do the models feel when they get signed by Supernaturals and you book one of these great campaigns? What's their reaction?
It's usually pretty exuberant. A lot of times these are, our models that are just coming up and just seeing, just for example, one of our models, Ricky Lee, he booked a campaign with Specsavers, which was an international glasses company coming to Canada. And he got the call on the Monday, got his passport Tuesday, flew out Wednesday, shot Thursday in London, England, all the way from the West Coast, and then flew right back. And then within a couple months, his face was all over Canada. So yeah, let's just say that the reaction, not only from models themselves, but the whole community has been absolutely wild.
Joleen, talk to us about the impact you're having on the fashion industry right now.
I just think we're changing the cultural landscape of not only Vancouver, but this side of Turtle Island completely. I think what we offer as Indigenous people is something that we've been offering since time immemorial, which is great art, great fashion, an Indigenous worldview, all these really important things for our planet and for the human species to survive, I think is really important. So I think it's not just impacting, having our representation out there, but also impacting people as a whole.
And the industry, just trying to set a precedent for Indigenous values and just ways to operate respectfully in the society, because there still are a lot of challenges that we have to face in this industry.
Yeah, it's a scary industry, and we're trying to change that.
Yeah, and how does working with Indigenous models, how does it help brands and organizations support reconciliation efforts?
I think brands and companies that want to be a part of that solution and moving that needle forward, working with Indigenous people, I think, is instrumental, especially in this country with the history that we all have, that we have shared together. It's not just us and them. It's all of us coming together over these past several hundred years. And so being able to have Indigenous people represented is not only helping with reconciliation, which is a big word right now that, is quite broad, but I think it has an impact not only in the lives of the individual models they select, but it's being able to bring communities into the conversation and to be able to see themselves in this light that we've never been able to before. So a brand that wants to work with us and that wants to incorporate Indigenous people is really making a big impact in communities.
Joleen, what's next for Supernaturals?
Well, I think we have February. We're going to Milan, and September, New York. So, we're taking the world by storm.
Yeah, we're looking to expand across the country. We've just brought on a handful of models from out in Toronto, even though we're based in Vancouver. We're trying our best to make sure people from across the country, maybe even across the continent, are going to be able to have an Indigenous organization to help support them, uplift them, and see them thrive in this industry where we typically haven't in the past.
Well, congratulations on all of your success. Joleen and Patrick, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us here this morning on TMS. We appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, hi.